I want to ask our filmmakers, please, to, I'm going to do my best Bob Barker now. Come on down. There's a Drew Carey these days. Daisy, Veerle, Shannon, Amy, Milly, get down here. We're ready to have a conversation. And while we're waiting on the chairs, Shannon brought her own. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
How are you?
I want to give you some more. Okay. You can.
Oh, thank you.
So, think about this. When, where else in the span of less than 2 hours can you go on a journey that takes you through a tree hugger, heavy breathing, riding Timothy Chalamet, breaking your backside, a spiritual transformation, a stupid man, and a smelly woman. It's incredible. You can get things with short films in that little bit amount of time. Scenes that would maybe get lost within a feature. You can focus that attention, right? And you can highlight all of those things that you really want to give a focus to, that you can put into focus. And that's why I love doing the short films. So I want to get into this with all of you. I want to ask, first off, with stories like these, I'm curious. Well, first off, let's go from the row. I want to start with you, Shannon. Come this way. Shannon, by the way, Shannon's being very kind to me. Those of you who may not know, I once tried to get her parents arrested on trumped-up drug charges.
Yeah.
Look up Best Summer Ever, and you'll figure that out.
True.
But I hope you've forgiven me. That's been some time.
I mean, how does one forgive?
Tell us your film and the different various roles you might have had within making it.
My film was A Stupid Man. Thank you. Various roles I had in it. I was in it. Yep.
Okay.
I helped produce it.
Okay.
That's it. Oh, I have a dog. My dog was in it. You could hear her barking.
Hi, I'm Amy Frear, and I directed A Stupid Man, starring Shannon.
Hi, I'm Veerle. I directed Dive Deep.
I'm Daisy. I wrote and directed Unholy.
I'm Milly, and I directed Sleepyhead.
Thank you. Brilliant work. So I want to ask, I think to start this out, was there an incident, a situation, a comment, or a realization that led to the making of the film? Anybody can start.
I'm happy to. I think multiple situations, multiple conversations. A lot of the scenarios in Sleepyhead happen for real, particularly the conversations with doctors. And Charlotte, who wrote it, is a very dear friend of mine, and we, over the years, have compared stupid stories of conversations we've had with people who are, in theory, they're meant to help us, but come up with pretty good excuses, like nasal spray being the solution to everybody's problems, and the rage that comes with that. And so it was really Charlotte's way of encapsulating all that rage from many, many, many years and trying to put it into a story a character who felt very real and who could take control of those situations again by squashing the doctors and putting them in her drawer.
That was cathartic, I gotta tell you.
Oh yeah, I think we've all thought about it. So yeah, multiple life scenarios, and also small things like some friends of hers she did hear a story of some friends of hers saying mean things to her about her behind her back in a bus stop, and it did get back to her. So it's sort of a culmination of various different life experiences, really.
Fantastic.
Yeah, my film started with the scene in the kitchen with the grandmother. I had a triple organ transplant, and I had a feeding tube when I was younger. And my grandma, to this day, whenever we go out to dinner, she'll be like, "So do you remember that list?" And it was really funny for a while. And then at a certain point, it stopped being funny, and it started really pissing me off. And then I wrote a movie about it.
Well, I thought it was amazing. I think it's, such a great honor to be featured alongside your fantastic films. I think it was amazing. Yeah, for Dive Deep, I don't have like a specific spark that sparked the story. I think for me it was really about finding your way in life and feeling trapped inside my own mind sometimes. And this is where I met Guus, our main actor. And he was experiencing a lot of the same struggles. And we spent, I think, about a year and a half just discussing his life and the life of many others and my own. And this is the result of that, basically.
Thank you.
Well, we just wanted to make a rom-com.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole story. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have a better one.
Why not? Yeah.
These are all very deep, interesting things, and we're just like, yeah, we wanted to have this thing that we made.
And in making a rom-com,
Yes.
was there a certain point you wanted to make or something you were trying to say with it? Or it was just like, let's go in this direction. Let's have a little fun.
No, we don't ever have anything to say. I think the reality of it is that rom-coms are my favorite genre of all time. I've seen every single one. I should be on your Quizzo team. If you have a rom-com Quizzo team, I would kill it. But there's not really. I can count on one hand how many have even a person with a disability in any of them. So it's a genre that I feel very strongly that I want to create in that space and have disabled characters, even if it's just the best friend or not just the best friend. I would love to be the best friend. But I think that it's a space that deserves it because disabled people love and are funny and deserve to be in that space. So
And those stupid people, just like everyone else.
And stupid people, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd put, at this point in our country, I'd beg to differ, but in this movie, yes.
What about the rest? Was there, other than being cathartic, which is its own fun, I would imagine, was there something you wanted to get across, like a point that you kind of wanted to make, or a demon you wanted to exercise, or anything like that?
Is that a question for me?
Yeah, go for it. It is now.
So the demon I wanted to exercise in my film. Is that your question?
Yes, is there one, first off? Now there has to be. You realize that after that setup.
Oh, lordy lord. Well, I don't know. I think I really wanted to show a story of a teenager, just like any other teenager who's struggling with anxiety or, the loss of his mom or, not being able to connect with his friends. And yeah, he happens to have a disability, but it was really not about that at all. And I think it's really interesting because we've shown this film in the Netherlands, also at schools and at different festivals. And there's always the question that arises like, at first, like, does he not connect with others maybe because of his disability, or does he struggle because of that? And only at the end of the film it becomes clear, oh no, it's because of he lost his mom and he's just mourning and just struggling. And what I love is that it sparks a lot of discussion there. So I don't think there's a demon in the film, but it's
but the demon doesn't have to be yours. You see, that's the thing. That there are these assumptions that people make, right? And there are things that they can project onto your work.
Yeah.
Based on what's going on in the world, limited imaginations, whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so part of that, to my mind, exercising demons is to challenge those assumptions
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Shake it up and get them to go, oh, there's more here,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
Than maybe I imagined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the demon question is funny because, like, the more we went through this edit, the more we sort of realized that it's also a horror movie.
Yes. No, seriously, like the Iron Lung and this movie add these moments of tension where you're like, what's gonna happen now? Yeah.
Yeah, and we've heard feedback of like when she throws up, some people think there's going to be like an alien or something, which like could be awesome. Not this story, maybe another one. Yeah, but I think like it's sort of an exploration of how to maintain tradition, even when tradition isn't accessible. And Judaism and culture is just so much about food, and especially Passover is like you can't have Passover without food, and it's sort of like what does that mean if you can't have access to that? And like I think for me and my family, I think it really like is encapsulated in like the final moment when Noah's like, I feel like I'm going crazy because everyone's either like treating it like it's a big deal or not. Like I feel like I've been like living with having a transplant forever, and like I think my family is like really good at talking about not talking about it, or like talking around it and like not being real about it. And I think like in a way that not necessarily has manifest but could manifest is through this very like ritualistic food holiday, and like that would be like kind of like a personal hellscape for someone like going through that, like kind of a no exit situation. So sort of like if you're being put in that situation, like what's gonna happen? Yeah
Absolutely. You think that?
I guess it's not a demon, but I think that one of the big themes is the idea of self-acceptance. And I suppose when you say it encourages people to have conversations and stuff, the amount of people that have come up to us after screenings to say that the hardest part was accepting kind of the life as it is now and what that actually means going forward, because it doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be something that's scary. It's just something that you have to restructure, I suppose, and encourage everyone around you to try and restructure the kind of the way that they talk about it or don't talk about it or talk around it. So kind of confronting it head on is often the way forward sometimes. I think obviously that's incredibly difficult for a lot of people, but if you can find a way of talking about it in a funny way as well, then quite often that opens the floodgates a little bit easier. So yeah, I guess kind of the idea of kind of trying to look forward, or find a new normal in a way.
And almost I would think in some ways you're not giving permission to the character because the character's already there, right, in your film. But it's almost giving permission to the audience to go, you know, this way of life, this way of being is okay, right? And you can say the word, it's all right.
Yeah, definitely. And also giving them permission to laugh and cry with someone as well, because again, people are so cautious they don't really know how to behave around these kind of conversations or these lifestyles and things like that. So if you present them a real person, like teenagers across the board, they swear, they are loving, they hate you, they have amazing friends, they have terrible friends, and they're just normal people. It's just sometimes the way that their lives function is slightly different to another teenager, and that's the same with adulthood as well. So it's kind of trying to, kind of that kind of approach hopefully encourages other people to think about things slightly differently as well.
Yeah.
Or gives them permission
There are
to.
more options, right? More color in the palette, more voices in the choir, all those wonderful metaphors. Yeah. I want to make sure we get some time for Q&A with the audience here. So if you could show a hand, somebody will come to you with a microphone. All right.
Yes. So I could go. All right. So it's just a comment and just a little. I'm gonna make it quick, but growing up, especially being a teenager, I know that was, especially being blind, it was even being a kid. I went to a party once and they didn't want me to play. I forgot what game it was. I think it was musical chairs. I think it was, and Mom was like, "No, I'm gonna let them play," because, let's face it, she wanted me to be included. I was making a fit. I wanted to do it so bad. I was like, please, please, please. But the people, they were like, no. And we were talking about that recently. They were like, you know, you were a victim of circumstance. Although they made, you know, they made you play, but, you know, you're gonna experience. Sometimes you're gonna be victims of circumstance when it comes to certain things. And you know, the best way is just, you know, going forward as you learn, just try to deal with it the best as you can. It's not easy, but just know that you're not alone in this. You're not alone. And thank you to the film writers and the producers and everybody up there showing that no one's alone in this. We're all in this together. You may feel alone, but in reality, you're not. So thank you. My name is Brian. I have a beautiful, beautiful black and gray sweater with white patterns on it, denim jeans, and y'all probably heard me in the panel earlier with the circus. So yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you. Other questions? Yes.
Thank you. So I have a quick comment and then a question for all of you. My comment is, first of all, you're an amazing actress. Like, literally, I said, she better act. Because that was fantastic. And it relates to my question because, so I'm a professor of disability studies in English. And what I constantly am trying to get my students to understand is that the problem that I have with disability representation is the lack of nuance. And everything I saw here tonight is better than everything I've ever seen in modern media because of nuance. So the way you delivered the lines in A Stupid Man, it was like, it's like she happy for him, but she really not happy. And you can see both at the same time, so well done. My question for you all is about nuance. So how did you deal with that question? Because I was thinking of in Unholy, to be honest, that one made me cry. And I was thinking if her father had blessed her formula, I would have lost my shit. Because I was thinking if she can't be included, like as a person with a disability who is also deeply connected to religion, like my parents, like they can't find a way to bridge these two things together. And that was so well done. The way he blessed her at the end of that movie made me cry. Because
Thank you.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. So like the nuance, how do you all approach this question of getting to that in a way that makes it work? Because everybody else is missing it. So I'm like, what are y'all doing that everybody else is skipping over?
No.
I guess I can go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think the first part is like, I feel like a very nuanced person in the disability space. Like, I think like, I mean, people here and I have had this conversation. Like, I feel like I very much exist sort of in this like gray area of disability as like a transplant recipient. It's like never completely in the world of like normal people, but never necessarily completely in the world of the disabled community. And I think that's always been really hard, but I think for this it was a huge asset because I made a character that was also in the in-between and making it from sort of a place of lived experience. I mean, that's sort of the only way we should be doing things always. And I think that really, really showed through, and I think sort of finding the simplicity in it and not dramatizing it, like some people probably know, but the blessing in the beginning or the end is just like a normal blessing that your parents do every Shabbat. And it's like a quick thing. Like people don't think about it, except the last part, which is like more of a feminist take on it. But just like kind of adding something that was so simple, but kind of trying to make it more profound. And I think I worked a lot with my friend who is currently a feeding tube user, and so like sort of using both of our experiences together with the actors and like sitting each actor down and having a coffee with them or having a long conversation with them and finding sort of the in-between between both of our experiences sort of created that nuance because the space in between our two experiences was nuance. And I think just putting in as much of my family and their craziness, their mishigas as possible, making it feel very real. I think just like getting to the heart of the reality is sort of how you do it.
Yeah, is there anybody else who wants to talk about that space in between. You have anything you want to add about nuance?
Well, I don't know about the space in between, but I think, and this might be a super cliche thing to say, but in the Netherlands, it's actually quite groundbreaking, which is really weird in a way, is that I think it's important when you make films, you know, it should, especially if it represents a certain community, you know, make it with the community. So, you know, it's not stories about someone, but it's with, you know, the people you're making it with. So I think that's also where a lot of the nuance comes from, is making it together and not
Right.
about
Yes, and taking time, making the effort right to have it be a collaborative effort. One, so it as a filmmaker you don't screw it up, and two, that you're informing that script with, you know, the types of things that can allow you to do nuance, right? Can afford nuance.
Just to point out, that shot of him sleeping in the bathtub was incredible.
So beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.